Neil from Essex here today to talk to you a little bit about third function hydraulics. You've been out shopping for a tractor, picked out the perfect machine, and added the most popular option that we see on these machines, and that is the front hydraulic kit to have a set of outlets out on your front loader. We're going to talk about third functions today, what they are, how they work, the applications that you should consider using them for, and the implements you absolutely should not try to connect to them.
Essex, a helping hand with your land.
So before we dive in, let me bring you up to speed here on a third function. When you look at your loader, you have two functions typically, up and down by moving your stick up and down, left and right for curling your bucket, and then this third function is added out there on the end with two open hydraulic couplers to run other attachments. Typically this is added onto a loader by taking a feed line off the side of the hydraulic valve that operates the loader and putting in an electronic solenoid valve in order to operate it. You're going to see the cost on these things anywhere between about $800 to $1,500 depending on exactly how the kits and everything are constructed. OEM kits that use hard lines coming out the boom and have shields and guards and stuff on them will be more towards that $1,500 end, where if you piece these things together using off-the-shelf valves and hoses and stuff, you can get more close to that $800 side of things. So you've got some options here. A lot of our tractors will have 2 or 3 different options for this third function kit because they are so popular. So now that we've got the tractor in the kit, what can we do with it, right? There's a lot of different attachments now that you're going to be able to put on the front loader of your tractor that really wouldn't have worked on these machines before because of this additional ability. One of the most popular places that this goes to for most people is into grapples. So by having that hydraulic function, we can now take your loader, pin the grapple onto the end of the tractor, and have these extra hoses here plugged into that third function kit in order to be able to open and close the grapple. Another implement that we would put out on the end of your loader would be a hydraulic angle snowplow. Now, if you look at tractors at years gone by, we've always had snowplow options for these machines, but typically to put those on, you're removing the loader, putting a frame on underneath the tractor and driving into that plow and locking it on. It's a costly setup because of all the pieces that are involved, and a little bit more laborious because it doesn't use all these quick attach systems, right? So now that we have front hydraulics and a front skid steer coupler on that loader, we can lock into this plow and be able to angle it left to right as you go. I can tell you from experience of running these in particular, you want to do this on a tractor that has steering brakes, because one, it doesn't have split brakes on it, can be challenging in order to get this thing to track straight down a driveway. Perhaps my favorite attachment to run out on a third function are these hydraulic post augers. Now, years ago, we used to sell lots of post augers on tractors that are gonna go back on your 3-point hitch. But being able to take it and put it out on your front loader gives you downforce to be able to push that auger down into the ground, and also allows you to run it in reverse in the event that you hang it up on something while you're down there. So very easily taking this machine, this low flow motor, coupling it onto the end of your tractor and spinning that bit nice and slowly to drill a hole. I am always looking for that one attachment that I can leave on my tractor and do everything, so I'm not switching stuff back and forth all the time. And one of those attachments is a 4-in-1 bucket or a combination bucket. This allows you to have a hydraulic cylinder on the back side of your bucket that will allow this to swing open, that you can use this as a bucket, you can use it as a pushing blade, or you can use the jaw, the hinge here, in order to be able to pinch things like logs and carry them around like you would with a grapple. It's not perfect at anything, but it's the jack of all trades type bucket to be able to throw out on the end of your loader, and you need the third function kit in order to operate the hydraulics. So those implements are some of the ones that work the best, right? Times that you're operating simple hydraulic cylinders or low flow motors like you are on the post auger, you can absolutely get yourself in trouble when implements start to cross over into skid steer applications. When you look at machines like this, they are set up the same way, right? Skid steer coupler on the front with a big valve stack over here in order to operate implements, but the flow and pressure that's coming out of these machines are not the same, and that creates a whole host of implements that can clip onto the front of your tractor, plug in your hydraulics, but are not going to perform properly on your machine. When we cross over here into the world of skid steer implements, we've got that same plate, that same hoses, but in these applications, the skid steer runs these implements a little bit differently, right? In these machines, you don't have a PTO to be able to run things out the back, and you're relying upon those hydraulics high flow, high pressure hydraulics in some cases, in order to actually do the work. The smallest of your skid steers typically have hydraulic flows somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20 gallons a minute or so. Larger machines can be 40 to 50 gallons a minute. And most of our small tractors, to give you a reference point, are somewhere in the 6 to 12 range in most cases. So we don't have nearly the hydraulic flow in a tractor that even the smallest skid steers have. Now, when we don't have that flow, that means we don't have horsepower effectively, right? We don't have that horsepower coming through those hydraulics in order to put down in that implement and actually do the work. So when we look at things like this preparator here that is running this large motor, this is spinning a drum that's pulverizing dirt, your tractor is not going to be able to run an implement like this. The same thing's going to go for things like pre-seeders and preparators or hydraulically powered rotary mowers that are large, high capacity motors. While these things will fit onto your tractor, they absolutely won't work properly. Another common request from the small tractor community is brooms, right? Where we can pin this broom on your front loader. And again, to be able to go out, sweep things up and collect them in a bucket back here, or to brush snow off of sidewalks. There's great brooms available to go in the front of your tractor driven with that PTO shaft. But when we look at the hydraulic side of things, your tractor just doesn't create the hydraulic horsepower necessary in order to run that properly. So if we look here from a mechanical standpoint, cylinders and low flow motors are fine on your tractor. Any place that you're seeing a hydraulic motor that's doing this ground engaging work, that's spinning things, that's putting power to the ground, you're not going to have great results running it on your tractor. One exception to my rule here of don't put hydraulic motors into ground engaging type work is the Lane Shark. This is a mower that clips onto your front loader. It can operate out in front of your machine like this, or it can also swing off to the side to get into some hard to reach places. Now, why this works on this machine is because they equip this with a special low flow motor. So if you look at most of these are 8 to 15 gallon per minute motors. Now, having run one of these in the past, you are limited in your horsepower here, right? You've only got 5 or 6 horsepower that's being delivered out to this mower and a lot of your lower flow tractors. And if you go and you run this thing into high thick grass, you're gonna know pretty quickly. Most of the time though, these are used in brush applications, and what you're doing is getting the big swirling mass of these heavy blades up to speed, and that's what's doing your work when you're mowing. So there are applications where you can break my rules here a little bit, but for the most part, motor's bad, cylinder's good. So hopefully that helps you understand some of the places where attachments are going to work properly on your tractor and when they're not. This is not a case of it fits, it ships, right? Just because it clips onto your tractor and plugs into your hydraulics does not mean it's going to work correctly. So take a minute and think through these attachments and make sure they're a great fit for your machine. If you're shopping for this kind of stuff, we've got a huge selection on Messiks.com. We have literally hundreds of implements in stock available for you to pick up, and also a fantastic website for any parts shopping or service needs that you might have for your equipment. So if you're shopping for a piece of equipment and we can help, give us a call. We're available at 800-222-3373 or online at Messiks.com.